All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're unpacking the Claude Mastery Guide, 16 hacks for peak productivity, and we're zeroing in on the top 5 hacks to completely shift your mindset. We want to move away from using AI just for manual searches and get straight into total automated delegation. Look, most people today, they open up Claude, or really any AI tool, and treat it like a fancy Google search. You know the drill. Type in a question, get an answer, read it, and just move on. But honestly, doing that completely ignores the massive technological horsepower you have right at your fingertips. If we genuinely want to hit peak productivity and actually reclaim 20+ hours a week, we've got to radically transform how we interact with these platforms.
Seriously, using Claude just for basic text generation is a massive waste of its true power. There's a quote directly from the guy that absolutely hits the nail on the head. That's like buying a Ferrari and only driving at 10 kilometers an hour. It perfectly captures the current state of AI adoption for most professionals. Think about it. You have this incredible, world-class engine that's fully capable of executing complex business operations, writing software, and managing your calendar, but instead you're just using it to draft a polite email or summarize a PDF? No way. Today, we are taking the parking brake off. We're going to walk through 5 specific levels of hacks to transform Claude from a basic chatbot into your personal developer, your assistant, and your business coach.
So let's start at level 1, the great chat history migration. This is all about building our foundation by completely removing the friction of leaving ChatGPT.
You see, the absolute #1 reason people refuse to switch to a new AI tool is that they feel totally locked into their existing chat history. And hey, it makes sense. You've likely spent months training another AI on your specific tone and preferences. But the really good news, you don't have to start from scratch. You can migrate that entire history in under 2 minutes. Just navigate to your Claude settings, hit Capabilities, and click Start Import. Claude will actually hand you a specific prompt. You just take that, drop it into your old ChatGPT account, and it generates a comprehensive dump of everything it knows about you. Paste that right back into Claude, hit Add to Memory, and boom! Your brand new Ferrari is now fully customized to your exact driving style.
Moving on to level 2, your new AI business coach. Now we're leveling up from simply answering questions to deeply analyzing your time by connecting your everyday platforms.
Look, if you are still opening a separate tab to manage your inbox or checking your calendar manually, you are literally throwing away precious hours. Claude actually has native connectors right there in the sidebar for Gmail, Google Calendar, Slack, Notion, Google Drive, the whole shebang. By logging into these directly, you give the AI secure, direct access to the actual data flows of your workday. The massive paradigm shift here: stop touching your inbox manually and let Claude act as a high-level consultant. The old way of working was treating AI like a basic intern, asking it to, find that email from John. The new way is entirely strategic. Because Claude now has access to your connected inbox and calendar, it understands the stark reality of how your time is actually being spent versus how you think it's being spent.
To really leverage this, feed Claude your specific goals with a super direct prompt. Imagine giving Claude your quarterly business targets or even your personal goals for the year and just asking it to evaluate your time. It will read your calendar blocks, scan the context of the emails you've been firing off all week, and act as an objective, unbiased business coach. It might come back and say something like, "We stated your goal was product development, but based on your calendar and inbox, you spent 60% of your week in low-leverage HR meetings." I mean, wow, that is profound automated self-reflection that you just can't get anywhere else.
Okay, let's step up to level 3, instant app building with artifacts. This is where we transition from merely reading information to actively building your own interactive software.
So we are moving entirely out of the standard, boring, text-based chat interface now. You know how people constantly have brilliant ideas for internal tools, maybe a custom calculator or a unique dashboard for their team, but they get stopped dead in their tracks because they think, I have to go hire an expensive developer for this? Well, you absolutely don't. Artifacts completely eliminates the need to hire a developer for custom internal tools. When you ask Claude to build something, it doesn't just spit out lines of raw, confusing code for you to figure out. No, it generates a literal, working, clickable mini application right there beside your chat window. You can interact with it, tweak things around, and rapidly iterate just by talking to the AI like a normal person.
It's crazy because you can turn a simple text prompt into a fully functional sales tracking dashboard in seconds. You can literally just type, "Build me a spreadsheet with sample data, make the columns editable, include the sales reps, the current status, and the products sold," and instantly Claude generates that interactive tool. You aren't just having a conversation anymore, you are actively developing software that is tailored exactly to your daily operational needs, and you're doing it without writing a single line of code yourself.
Stepping right into level 4, total automation and ghost controls. Things are about to get a little bit nerdier here, but infinitely more powerful as we unlock physical desktop automation.
This right here is where we separate the casual users from the absolute power users. Up until now, Claude has basically lived inside your browser window. But what if Claude could step outside that browser, look at your entire screen, and literally move your mouse for you? By toggling on computer use in your settings, the Cowork app essentially gives Claude digital hands to do the clicking on your behalf. Now, this does require installing the Claude desktop app and opening the Cowork feature. But once you granted those computer use permissions, Claude can physically take over your machine while you step away and grab a coffee. It can open applications, click buttons, scrape data from clunky interfaces, and navigate your operating system exactly like a human operator would. So, the crucial takeaway here is that you can hand off complex, multi-platform busy work and just watch the AI execute it flawlessly.
Imagine prompting Claude to literally open your web browser, navigate to HubSpot, click to export the sales numbers, open up Google Sheets, paste that data in, generate a summary chart, then open your Slack application and post that chart right to your team's channel. This isn't happening via some complicated back-end APIs that you had to spend weeks coding. No, this is literally a ghost in the machine doing your manual, repetitive labor for you. And what's really interesting is how automating tasks this way effectively replaces the routine duties of a chief of staff. Inside that cowork app, there is a magically simple command, /schedule. You can set up that entire HubSpot to Google Sheets to Slack workflow we just talked about and schedule it to happen every single morning at 6 a.m. as long as your computer is running. Before your alarm even goes off, Claude can read your inbox, summarize the urgent items, pull your daily reports, and completely prep your workspace. It handles all that repetitive heavy lifting so you can focus strictly on high-level creative decisions.
Let's move to our final tier, level 5, coding for non-technical people. This section completely shatters the illusion that you need to be an engineer to build real software. If level 3's artifacts was about building little mini apps inside your browser, level 5 is about building massive, standalone, custom applications entirely from scratch. This is where we unlock a tool specifically designed to turn plain English into complex code architecture. Claude Code essentially acts as your personal developer, and it's practically the only technology out there that actively teaches you how to use it better while you're working with it. You run Claude Code directly on your computer through a terminal. You just tell the system what you want to build using plain, everyday English, and it goes to work, writing the code, structuring the database, and building out the application. It iterates right alongside you, fixing its own errors as it goes. The real-world impact of this is just massive. The source guide shares this incredibly inspiring anecdote about a 60-year-old CEO named Todd. Todd didn't know how to code, he had zero technical background, but he did know how to describe exactly what his business needed. So he locked himself in his office, talked back and forth with Claude Code in plain English, and literally 3 days later, he emerged with a fully functioning custom CEO dashboard running live on a TV on his wall. He effectively did the job of an entire engineering team simply by communicating clearly with the AI.
Listen, the crucial point here is that putting just one of these 5 hacks into action instantly places you further ahead than 99% of people. It is so incredibly easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer dizzying pace of AI advancement right now. You might honestly feel like you're constantly falling behind. But the reality? Almost everyone else is still just using these incredibly powerful tools to write polite, boring emails. By taking the time to migrate your context, connect your live data, build artifacts, utilize computer use, or test drive Claude Code, you are tapping into a level of productivity that the vast majority of the global workforce hasn't even realized exists yet.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a direct challenge. Look at the 5 levels we just covered and decide which one you are going to implement today. You absolutely do not need to do all of them at once. That is a guaranteed recipe for burnout. But you do need to start driving this Ferrari at the speed it was actually built for. So what's it going to be? Are you going to finally import your ChatGPT history? Are you going to connect your calendar to get a harsh, automated reality check on your time management? Or are you going to get brave and have Claude physically automate your morning workflow using the Cowork app? Pictures 1, start testing it right now and begin reclaiming those 20 hours. Because the future of work isn't about working harder, it's about delegating smarter. What we